Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today I'll be doing a burger painting because I love painting burgers. As you can see here, my canvas paper, which is size 11 by 14 inch, is already backgrounded with some black paint because I want the painting to seem like it's gonna pop out of the canvas or the material. And you can definitely use a different size of canvas for yourselves or even a different material for yourselves. If you don't want a canvas paper, you can use a stretch canvas or a canvas board. So I'll be telling you the colors that we'll be using for today's tutorial. So we have here burnt sienna, yellow green color, or just like green. We have crimson red, purple, black, orange, lemon yellow, and titanium white. I cannot really promise that these are the only colors that we'll be using, but basically they are the colors that I'll be using. I might add or may not add other colors, but just prepare these colors and I'm gonna let you know in the description box below if there are other colors that will be used for this tutorial. So I'm gonna sketch first the subject, and for the sketch, I'm just gonna use my white so that you can see it against the black canvas. So again, I'll be doing a burger and we want this burger to look as realistic as possible. And I also want my burger to be big. Okay? So this will be like the bun. I love burgers and it's just one of my go-tos um, for my tutorials. It's just one of my go-tos. So this is the bun, okay, the top bun, okay? And then I'm gonna sketch where the other ingredients are gonna go. So we have here some lettuce. Okay. I think the most or one of the trickiest parts of the burger when it comes to painting is the lettuce. I mean, you cannot really go wrong with the lettuce because um, you don't have to have the same exact lettuce as what I have here because it's a natural subject. So we will all have different shaped lettuce. Okay, and then I'm gonna go for the tomato. I love tomatoes, by the way. Some people I know they don't love tomatoes, but I do love tomatoes, and I don't know, they're so yummy. Okay, we will definitely um, do a little bit of adjustments as we go on, but this is just basically the shape of the burger and all the other ingredients. Okay, and then I'm gonna do some onions. It's not making any sense at the moment, simply because everything is black and white here. You can see there are no colors, but just trust me on this one. We'll get there, but we just have to sketch, okay, so that we proportion everything in and that we don't get lost. Okay, onions, and then I'm gonna go for the pickles. So the pickles are like, these are like, their shapes like a zigzag zigzag shape. And for me, sketching is more challenging than actually than the painting session. I don't know if it's just me, but I really find it more difficult for me to sketch because it's just the framework of the painting, and if the framework goes wrong, everything follows. But of course, they are correctable as you go on. It's just that if you have a good sketch, it's so easy to just paint when it comes to the painting part. Again, it's very similar to the cabbages. You can never really go wrong with this one. Okay. Then I'm gonna go with some bacon. Okay, the bacon will be like going outside like that. Okay, this area. This is just a sketch, and I don't want to put so much details on the sketch just yet, simply because we can do that during the painting process. But at least we do have an idea of where things are gonna go. Then I'm gonna go for the cheese. Okay, so the cheese will be like very melty. Okay, and then the patty. Okay, like that. And of course, okay, we do not forget the bottom bun. And when you do this painting, you have to um, make it look a little more like irregularly shaped. You don't want this to be super round, super perfect. It doesn't look yummy at all if your burger is super perfect. I don't like my burger to be looking so perfect. I want it to be like looking so almost like melting, okay? Not the gross kind of melting thing, but yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just gonna make a little bit of adjustment right there for the top bun. All right, so basically, this is the shape of it. As I told you, I really don't like, I like painting more than drawing, but then when the drawing is done or the sketch is done, I'm happy. Okay, so now let's proceed to under painting everything. Okay, for the top bun and the bottom bun, I'm gonna get my burnt sienna. Okay, mixed with tiny bit of white just to make things more visible. I'm gonna add black to that so that it's darker brown. Oops, I accidentally dab on my green, but it's all right. So I'm gonna underpaint the top bun with this color and try to be more raw and very, don't think too much when you underpaint. We're not detailing anything yet. Just put the colors right there. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing down here on the bottom bun, only that I'll be adding yellow, okay, to this. This is to provide it a little more light effects. Okay, you can definitely paint over the sketch line. We don't need so much of that white. The white paint was only used for you to be able to see where things are gonna go. You can add more yellow for light purposes. Yellow, maybe add white. Oops. All right. Again, don't worry too much. This is the underpainting. Okay. Just want to block everything in. All right. And now I'm going to dab onto my green color that you see here. I did not wash my brush. I'm going to add black to that so that it's muted green. You can add orange if you want, just to mute it even more. Okay. And I'm going to color underpaint, okay, first, the lettuce. Again, this is the underpainting. Don't think too much about this one. Again, the underpainting. And since I'm already at it, I'm gonna use this green. Maybe add more yellow and brown to underpaint the pickles since we're already here. Okay. 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 And then I'm gonna use another brush before we detail the pickles. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my red. That you see here, I did not wash my brush. Okay. Gonna add white to that so that you see the red against the black canvas. And I'm gonna paint the tomato. Right. Just like that. And then I'm gonna get my black plus brown and red. So we're gonna do the meat portion. All right, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my purple and I'm not washing my brush again. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white and red. And maybe more white and red. And I'm gonna block the, what do you call this? Onions. Right, just like that. Okay. I'm gonna dab onto my brown plus yellow. And okay, plus yellow. And I'm just gonna make the bacon part. Again, everything is underpainting. So don't you worry too much if it's not making sense to you at the moment. Okay, like this. Okay, all right, and maybe I can use another brush now. So I'm gonna get my white plus tiny bit of brown and yellow. Okay, maybe more white and brown. Gonna use this for the cheese. Okay. Okay. Okay, like this. I'm gonna get my white. Right. Okay, just like that. Okay. Since I'm already using a lighter color, just gonna go around the bun to highlight like the edge of the bun and maybe a little bit of dots and also the tomato and the onions. Just go around, the outline. Okay. All right. For now, let's move on to detailing. I think I'm gonna have to get or use a smaller brush. Like my brush is too big. Okay, now I'm gonna get um okay my light yellow right here, the one that we used for the cheese. I'm gonna add brown to that. So it's lighter brown, add yellow, brown and yellow, and I'm gonna use this color to lighten this part of the bun. And I'm gonna use my hands to blend a little. Okay, just like that. And the same color, only that I'll be adding more yellow and white. And I'm gonna use this to highlight the bottom bun Gonna create some. All right, just like that. Okay. I'm gonna dab onto my green and yellow. So I'll mix them to create some yellow green color. I don't know if the light is too bright for you guys, but I hope not. So using some yellow green color, I'm gonna add brown. Okay. I want that to be a little muted. I'm gonna create some markings. Okay, I'm gonna create some dark green. So I'm gonna mix my black and green. We're gonna use this to darken, to create dimension on the leaves. Oh, sorry, on the lettuce, I mean. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to that later. Okay. And then some highlights. It really is one of the most challenging parts. The lettuce. But then again, it's also forgiving since, you can never really go wrong with this. That's very initial. Okay. I'm gonna get my orange without washing my brush out. Gonna mix it with yellow and then I'm gonna apply some orangey colors on the tomatoes. Not all of the all of this part will be painted orange. Okay, like that. And mix with white. Okay. Gonna get my white, and there is some sort of green color mixing, but it's fine. Okay, like that. All right. I think I'm gonna use another brush. I'm gonna wash my brush out. I'm gonna get my white, and I'm gonna highlight. The onion part. Okay, like that. Okay, and since I already have the white, I'm just gonna go around again the bun. Okay. And on the tomato, it's still wet, but can do that. It's really, really, really wet. Mm. And then some light purple under here. Like that. Okay, using black, it's gonna go under the cheese portion. In all honesty, guys, I feel so tired today. I feel so tired. And this is not about physically tired. I'm not really physically tired because I know myself. I think I am more like mentally tired. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just mentally tired, I guess. I'm just gonna apply more black right here to create some depth and dimension. Okay. And also right here. Okay. Just to give it some depth. Like that. And then I'm gonna separate these two like the onions. Okay, just like that. Right. Okay, we're gonna keep going. I don't wanna give up on this one. Even if I am tired. Okay. So I'm gonna use like a pointy brush to get into those tight spaces. So I'm gonna use the size 14, but it's got a really, really pointed tip. So I'm gonna dab onto my yellow, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of going around the shape of my lettuce. Okay, so I'll be mixing some yellow, greens, and whites. Okay, I accidentally dab onto my orange, but it's fine. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Just go ahead and if it happens to you as well, go ahead and get the right color and paint over the area that you accidentally painted wrongly. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my dark green. Okay. And wait, hold on. I'm gonna get my black and just go ahead and outline that area that separates the lettuce and the upper bun. The upper bun, I mean the top bun. And also right here, just separate the cheese from the bacon. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, I want to do the pickles. So I'm gonna get my yellow green mixture right here, and I'm gonna start um like doing some detailing. Okay. Okay, just like that. Gonna get my green and black. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add brown. Okay. And using brown and black, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and make some separation. Some folds, you know. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and lighten my green further. We already had that color. So now I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighting. Okay. Okay. And going down. Okay. Right. Okay, but we're gonna keep going. Keep going. Gonna dab onto my yellow and brown. create some highlights on the bacon part. Okay, and then I'm gonna dab onto my red to create some redness on the bacon. Maybe add brown to that. Okay, I feel like I still need more paint brushes. My paint brushes, I don't know where I placed them. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I'm getting a smaller one. I'm gonna get my white plus brown, really, really light. Okay. And then I'm gonna create some markings on the patty. Again, this is very preliminary. Okay. I'm gonna get more white. Oops. Okay. We're gonna create some markings, like little sparkles on the bacon. Okay, and then I need more white. Okay. Okay, then using white, I'm just gonna highlight this. Like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my light brown with black. And okay, I'm gonna, oops, apply more black. Okay, let's create some gray color right here to make it appear shiny or oily. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow. Let's make this area more yellowy. Okay. Some dark greens again. Okay, like that. All right, like that. And I'm gonna get my purple plus white. Okay, more white actually. And I'm gonna use that to highlight the onion. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm gonna add red to the purple color with a little bit of black. Okay, like this. Okay, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna use my orange, just pure orange, to make the tomato more orange. And also right here under. Like that. Then using some yellow and brown color, let's highlight the bacon. And using more white. Okay. Okay, I'm just using white here. Okay, and then here. Okay, just white. Okay, and then some more yellow green color. Right. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay, and then I'm gonna get my yellow. And I'm gonna slightly glaze, okay, over the pickle section. Just to give it a little bit of interest. Okay, and then let's add some more um, shape. Like that. Okay. So I'm gonna get my like light brown. So I want you to get your light brown color. And we're gonna add a little bit of yellow to that light brown. And I really want to color this area with that. Okay. And then some darker browns. Just blend. Okay, got it. Let me just check. Okay, it's making sense already. Okay. I think I'm gonna use a smaller brush. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my light yellow green. To give the pickles more highlights. Okay. And then some light browns again. Let's go to this part, the bacon part. Okay. Gonna get some brown and black. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna create a little bit of shadowing. Oops. Make it lighter. Right here. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit of gray color just along the cheese. Okay, just like that. Very subtle detailing. Okay. Then I'm gonna get my white. And brown and black color. Okay, right here. Okay. And then some black. Using some black, I'm gonna create like little cracks on the patty to make it look more, you know, realistic. Hmm. We're getting better. Actually, I can definitely make a little bit of adjustment on the bun. I feel like the bun is quite small. Although there are really buns like really, really small. But I want to make some tiny adjustment in there just to not make it too small. I mean, okay, just like this, maybe. Hmm. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna get my white and yellow. Let's do a little bit of highlighting. Okay, highlight this portion of the lettuce. Okay, now using some orange and yellow, going to create some tiny dots, tiny markings. These are very subtle markings, you know. You may even choose not to do this, but I want to do it. Orange and red, just to deepen that orange color right under here. Okay. So what is that blob of paint? Okay, just like that. Okay. A little bit of highlighting. Okay, and then I'm gonna go for black just under this onion. Okay, great. I love it. Okay, like that. And then using some white. I know that this is a little bit difficult, in all honesty. It's just that it's a forgiving subject. That's why I chose this one. I mean, it is difficult, but we can all have a different, you know, looking burgers, but still, they're looking like burgers. You know what I mean? Okay. Right. Okay, some highlights on the lettuce. And of course, the tomato. Okay. And for the bun, I'm gonna apply some more light. And a little bit of fold right here. Okay, let me just check it. It's a little difficult, okay? In all honesty, I will not deny that this is a little bit too difficult for a beginner, but I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna add more details. Okay, let me just get my, like, I'm gonna tape, okay, my, this one. So I'm gonna tape it so that it doesn't like fold. Okay, let me just get my tape. Okay, so I'm just gonna double side tape that. Okay, so that it um doesn't do. Okay, just like that. And now I'm gonna do a little bit more highlighting. So I'm gonna get my black. I'm gonna water it down. Okay, and I'm gonna mix my brown, and I'm gonna make some glazing, dark glazing right here on top, also right here, and also the inside of my tomato. So basically just this middle section. Okay, and also right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and darken a little bit this part and this part. So this is like just glazing it to make some areas appear darker. Okay. It's a very subtle um, adjustment, but I really like it. Okay, and I'm gonna get my palette knife. Okay, so I'm just gonna get my palette knife right here. I'm gonna dab onto my white. I know that we're spending a little extra time for this, but let's do it. Okay, just like that. To make some uneven edges. Okay, let's do the same thing on the bottom bun. A little bit of marking. Okay, very subtle. Okay, detailing. Okay, now I'm gonna get my purple, mix it with some light colors and red. Okay, let's add. Okay, I'm gonna lighten it even more. Okay, just to give it some highlights. Right? Gonna do some more layering. Okay. And some dark greens. Right. Extra challenging, really. Okay. And then purple and red. Let's go inside. Fill in that space. Okay. With some onion colors right there. But you can add a little bit of red because it's the colors are deeper right here because it's not being highlighted. I'm gonna get my red and then glaze this area with some red color. Here's some orange. Okay. And let's just highlight it again with some white. Okay, let me check. Okay, this looks nice. Okay, it's just that I need to do a little more detailing down here. So I'm getting my brown, okay, and red. Okay, and I'm gonna create some more detailing. Okay, I'm just adding some more detailing. I think the subject that I chose um, is very challenging, um, but taking into consideration that I told you that I'm also a little bit tired, okay, mentally it somehow affected the level of difficulty, okay. Don't worry, We still got it. Okay. It's only a matter of patience. Patience. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of highlight again right here. A little bit of spacing. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my brown and red. I'm going to create some like texture on the patty. Mhm. Then I'm going to create some browny colors. And then some more dark markings on the patty. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna darken again. So using some black and brown, I'm just gonna darken the right side. Right. Mhm. I think I accidentally. Okay. Okay, like that. I'm going to glaze it a little bit with black. Okay. And then using white, I'm gonna go around the cheese part. All right, just like that. Let's highlight this. All right. Wow. Okay. I think I'm happy about this one. Okay. Just gonna create some folds. Okay, just like that. Mm, okay, that's nice. Wow. I could do a lot more detailing, and I know that I've already done it. Okay. Okay. It's just further extend the bacon. Okay. And then some highlights. Okay. Okay. Then using some light brown, let's just highlight the top of the bun. Very subtle highlight. All right, just like that. Okay. Check. Okay. I think we're done. Okay. So this is done. And I'm glad that you stayed for 1 hour and 40 minutes. But I'm really glad that I did this one because um, even if you are tired, okay, just keep doing it. I'm not telling you to not get some rest, but if your only reason is that you're tired, always question that because you probably um, are just, one, you probably are just lazy. Number two, demotivated, but you're not really physically tired. So just keep going. And once you reach that point of actually telling yourself that, yes, the painting is finished, you'll just feel proud of yourself. Okay, even if it takes longer than usual, the good thing is that you always do it. Okay, so I hope you enjoy that. You enjoy this burger painting, and I hope you paint along with me. And if you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you learned something from me, let me know in the comment section below. And see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Love you.